Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. Today, I want to talk about these watches. I'll do them one at a time, but this is the W-735H, and this is the W-736H. And the distinguishing feature about these watches that kind of sets them apart from a lot of standard Casios is the vibration alarm. They each have that. In fact, these two watches do all of the same things when you press the buttons. It's just they have a bit of a different display. It's kind of fun. If you look at the cases, they look like just the same thing, just some different colors here. You know, this shape right in here is the same on each of these. Just what they've got inside on the face is a little bit different, but everything else, the strap, everything just looks the same. So for now, let's focus on this one, and I'll show you all the functions and features on this one here. Now, it has a 10-year battery. That happens to use the lithium CR2032 battery, which is pretty common these days. You can find that battery used in a lot of garage door opener remote controls. So I think 10 years from now, when it's time to get a new battery, I shouldn't have too much trouble finding the right battery for this watch. As you can see here in the normal timekeeping mode, you've got hours, minutes, and seconds, and then of course the day of the week and the date right there. Everything showing pretty clearly right there. If I change modes with the mode button, my next mode is the countdown timer mode, and you can see when it's in standby here, I've got the local time showing right there and the countdown setting right there, so I can start that here. And when I've started it and when it's running, it's showing hours, minutes, seconds, and hundredths of a second, and I can stop that and reset it just like that. Now, since I've done something in this mode, if I go mode again, it actually takes me back to the home screen, and so I have to press mode 2 times to get to the stopwatch mode. When it's in standby, you can see I've got that little 5-second marker there, or I can turn that off and just have it run normally like this. So what happens is when I start it, it just immediately starts and counts hours, minutes, seconds, and hundredths of a second. But if I were to set it like that, it's a auto start is what it is. So if I press start now, it gives me a 5-second countdown, and then it starts. So for some people, that might be useful to have that little countdown before you get into the actual timing there. All right, next you've got, let's see, press that again. Let's go to the alarm mode. And so here you can see it's pretty simple. You got local time there, and you can set the alarm to whatever you need. And if I use this button up here and tap it, then I've got my little symbols there indicating whether the alarm is turned on or off. So right there, that indicates the alarm is set to go. That indicates the hourly chime is set to go. That indicates they're both set to go, and that indicates that neither one is set to go. So you make that right there. Also, you can press and hold this while you're in the alarm mode, and it will give you a brief demonstration of what the alarm is doing. Now, right now I've got it in vibration mode, so right now it's kind of vibrating on my fingers there. But if I have it in the non-vibration mode, it will beep when I do that little demonstration. Okay, my next mode here is my dual time mode, so I can set some other time zone or just whatever setting I want. I can adjust hours and minutes to whatever I want for that other time setting. And also something nice here when it's not blinking, if I tap this split button here, I can have my dual time be in a 12 or 24 hour mode independent of what the rest of the watch is doing. So it's kind of nice to have that feature available there. If I go back here to my regular home screen, this is where I can make the major settings for the rest of the watch. So I press and hold the adjust button until things start to blink. There I can set the seconds, hours, minutes. Here I can choose a 12 or 24 hour mode for all the modes of the watch except the dual time mode can be independent of that. So I'll take it to 12 hour right now. Next, I can set the year, month, date, and those are all the settings you can do from your main screen there. Now, one thing that's not really intuitive about this, I think you can figure out the timer, stopwatch, alarms. If you're at all familiar with digital watches and Casio watches in particular, you can figure it all out just using these 4 buttons. But one thing you might not figure out is how to enable the vibration alarm versus a beeping alarm. And so what you do is you press and hold this start button while you're in this mode here. Hold that for just a couple seconds, and now VIB went away, and now instead of a vibration alarm, it's going to beep. And also it's going to beep when you change modes and when you start and stop your stopwatch, and when you have that little stopwatch countdown, it beeps as you're going into the start of the stopwatch. So all those, all those beeps are available when the vibration mode is off. If I go here to the alarm and I test my my alarm sound by holding the split button, okay, that's what that does. Whereas when it's in vibration mode, if I just did that, it would just shake a little and demonstrate the vibration. So if you are the kind of person who wants to have both vibration and beeping at the same time, unfortunately this watch will give you only one or the other. So vibration mode or beep mode, one or the other. The backlight is unique on this guy. If you light it up for a couple seconds, it actually gives you kind of it's almost like a combination of a reverse LCD and an LED backlight. So you've got a couple lights coming up from the bottom corners there, but when it lights up, it kind of gives you that negative LCD effect on there. So that's unique, kind of fun. By the way, here's what it looks like on my wrist. There's just a few extra spaces there on the strap, and it's fairly comfortable, fairly lightweight. Feels really good. Here's what it looks like on the back. Pretty colorful there. And of course the case back, piece of stamped metal with 4 tiny screws holding that in place, similar to a lot of other Casio and even G-Shock watches that are like that. With any luck, of course, you'll only have to open that case back up once every 10 years or so to change the battery. And in case I didn't mention it before, in case you didn't notice right there, it does remind you it's a 100-meter water resistance on this watch, so that should hold up pretty nicely. And there you go. You can choose whatever you want, available in a few different color combinations. If you want the 735 or the 736, you're going to get similar performance. You can see the digits are a little bit bigger on this one, so maybe you prefer that. This one's not bad at all either. And those are some fine watches. They're very affordable. We can compare the weight of these watches. Here's a GW6900, weighs in at 62 grams, more or less. Here's the DW291, 61 grams. Here's a W-736 at 51 grams, and the W-735, 49 grams. So all pretty comparable, not too heavy, not too bulky. This is the bulkiest one, and even that's great at only 63 grams. Okay, looking good. You should be able to find these for somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 maybe for this one, up into about $30 maybe for this one. And even the other color combinations shouldn't cost you more than $30 or so if you shop around carefully. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you're interested in a vibration alarm for your watches and a 10-year battery even to make it that much better. It should be accurate to within 30 seconds a month, just going off quartz accuracy, but I have found in my experience with these watches, I usually get much better accuracy than that. So I don't think you can go too far wrong with these, especially if you like the colors and the style and the feel and the vibration alarm feature as well. And that's all for now. And so I hope you will join me later soon for another episode of the Good Timekeeping Show.